Hi everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. I'm Emily, and today we're diving into a topic that many of you have asked for how to improve your English speaking skills.
Hey folks, I'm Tom, and yes, this is one topic I think most of us can relate to. Whether you're learning English as a second language or just want to become more fluent, we're here to help you.
Absolutely. English is such a global language, and speaking it confidently can open up so many opportunities. But let's be real, it can be tough, right?
For sure, I remember when I first started learning English, I had all these ideas in my head, but when it came to speaking, I'd just freeze. It took some time to get better at it.
Same here. But the good news is that with practice and the right techniques, anyone can improve. So today, we're going to share some simple, practical tips to help you speak English more confidently and fluently.
Let's get started.
So the first tip we have is pretty simple: practice. The more you practice speaking, the better you'll get. It's like any other skill, right?
Exactly. Think about it when you learn to ride a bike or play an instrument, you don't just get good overnight. You have to keep practicing. The same goes for speaking English.
And when we say practice, we don't mean just reading textbooks. You've got to actually speak. Find opportunities to use English in your everyday life. And when we say practice, we don't mean just reading textbooks. You've got to actually speak. Find opportunities to use English in your everyday life.
Yes, like talking to friends, joining a conversation club, or even practicing with yourself in front of a mirror. It might feel silly, but it works.
And if you don't have someone to practice with, there are language exchange apps where you can talk to native speakers or other learners. It's such a great way to practice and learn from each other.
Tip number 2, listen to how native speakers talk. This is key because it helps you understand how words are pronounced and how sentences are formed in real conversations.
Yes, and don't just focus on formal English. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, or even YouTube videos. You'll notice that people speak differently in casual conversations compared to formal settings. Let's read the formal say. 2.
Right, listening to different accents can also help because English is spoken differently around the world. So if you're traveling or working with people from different places, it's good to be familiar with various accents.
And here's a pro tip. While listening, repeat what you hear. It's called shadowing. You mimic what the speaker says, how they say it, and the rhythm of their speech. It helps train your brain and mouth to get used to speaking in English.
Our third tip is to expand your vocabulary. The more words you know, the easier it will be to express yourself.
But here's the thing: you don't need to memorize long lists of words. Focus on learning words you can use in everyday conversations.
Exactly. And don't just learn words. Learn phrases. For example, instead of memorizing the word beautiful, learn phrases like "what a beautiful day." That way, you'll know how to use the word in context.
Another trick is to label things around your house in English. Like you can put a label on your fridge that says fridge, or on your table that says table. It's a fun way to immerse yourself in the language.
The next tip is super important. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is something that stops a lot of people from speaking.
Oh, absolutely. We all make mistakes when learning something new, and that's okay. What's important is that you keep trying.
I agree. Remember, even native speakers make mistakes. So don't let that fear hold you back. When you make a mistake, see it as a learning opportunity.
And when you're speaking to others, don't be too hard on yourself if you get stuck. So, most people are patient and will appreciate your effort to communicate. Our fifth tip is to slow down. Don't rush when you're speaking English. It's better to speak slowly and clearly than to rush and get confused.
Yes, when I was learning, I always thought I had to speak fast to sound fluent. But that just made me more nervous. It's okay to take your time and think about what you want to say.
And while you're at it, focus on your pronunciation. If people can't understand what you're saying, it doesn't matter how many words you know. So take the time to pronounce words clearly.
A good way to improve pronunciation is by using language apps or websites that provide feedback on your speech. It can also record yourself and listen to how you sound.
Last but not least, build your confidence step by step. Start by speaking in simple sentences, and as you get comfortable, move on to more complex conversations.
Yes, celebrate small wins. If you successfully have a short conversation in English, that's a big deal. It shows you're making progress.
Also, try setting small goals. For example, challenge yourself to learn 5 new phrases each week or have a 2-minute conversation with someone in English.
Little by little, you'll see improvement and your confidence will grow.
So, to recap, practice as much as you can, listen to native speakers, learn new vocabulary, don't be afraid to make mistakes, slow down, focus on pronunciation, and take small steps to build your confidence.
Yes, improving your English speaking skills is a journey, but it's one that's totally worth it. Just keep going and don't give up.
We hope these tips help you on your language learning journey. If you have any questions or need more advice, feel free to reach out to us.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time, keep practicing and speaking with confidence.